everyone, I am Mecha42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and we are talking about the Orville, Episode 4, Season 2, Nothing Left on Earth Except Fishes. Or accepting fishes. Wow, I can't talk tonight. It is such a late night. You know, I'm not going to do another take. We're going to leave it in. Such a good episode. Oh my god. So I'll give you a quick spoiler-free sort of reaction and review. 7 out of 10. Really fun episode. Really good episode tonight. It was very predictable because we did have some spoilers if we did any like research. I know a lot of people did some research and saw a few things and noticed a few things. So there was not a lot of surprises in this episode. Captain Mercer did some very, very Star Trek, Starfleet, beautiful, wonderful things in this episode. Yeah, it felt like Star Trek. It just felt so much like Star Trek. There were some funny moments. There's a couple of different Star Trek episode sort of feels in there too. There was definitely, I was reminded of some earlier Star Trek episodes. I'll get more into that when we get into the spoilers anyway. Good episode. Highly recommended. Go watch this episode. It kind of felt a little more like a filler episode though, even though it was sort of like a big callback, like a big sequel to a previous season episode. Maybe that's because I knew it was coming. Maybe that's why I kind of felt it was a little bit more of a filler episode. I mean, it slowed down a lot. There was a lot more kind of relationshipy, sort of interpersonal sort of things in this episode. But yeah, like I said, about a 7 out of 10. Now, for the full spoiler part of the review, if you guys don't want to be spoilered, don't watch anymore. Alright, this episode is actually kind of cool. So Ed decides to go on vacation with his new girlfriend. Captain Ed Mercer's going on with his new girlfriend. It's about time. There's a whole bunch of like talky stuff like, hey, should I tell Kelly? Should I not tell Kelly? Should we tell the ship? Should we not tell the ship? All this type of stuff. And of course, spoiler. You know, we're already in the spoiler section. She is the same actress who played the Krill school teacher from the Krill episode of season 1. We kind of do that anyway from a few weeks ago from episode 1 from Jaloja. She first appeared in this episode as this character. She plays Tyler, the stellar cartographer, which I find very, very funny because Tyler was also the name, coincidentally, of Star Trek Discovery's double agent in season 1, Ash Tyler, who, through a million convoluted things, ended up being a Klingon spy sort of thing. Which is funny, a funny coincidence because this Tyler, this stellar cartographer, God, I can't talk, stellar cartographer named Tyler, also is a spy from the enemies. So she is actually the Krill school teacher, and we don't find that out right away. So Ed and her go on vacation. They're headed out. They're in their little shuttle, and they get fired upon by Krill. There's even a part once they're being, or I guess they're tractor beamed. No, their whole ship is kind of tractor beamed into the Krill ship. Ed is getting interrogated, and then he sees his girlfriend being tortured, and she looks human, and she's being tortured, so he gives up a command codes. But, you know, surprise, surprise, she's actually the Krill, and then she comes out not looking like the human. And it's a real simple explanation, too. You know, she's like, yes, I was on this, you know, I escaped, I was on the human ship, it's not important how I escaped. We had a DNA resequency thing to fool your sensors, and we faked paperwork to get onto your ship. Pretty simple answer. Way less convoluted and way less complicated than Star Trek Discovery's Ash Tyler plot. And this episode really felt like a big fuck you to Star Trek Discovery. And I loved it. It was so fun. It felt like just a big, you know, well, anything you can do, I can do better sort of episode. I love that. And God, there's just so many cool Captain Mercer moments. This is definitely a Captain Mercer kind of heavy episode. So once we find out that this Krill was his girlfriend and she was like in disguise, they end up getting attacked. This is kind of the twist. This is the thing we don't see. The Krill ship gets attacked by space orcs. Just like the Kling orcs, only they actually look a little more like orcs, so they do a much better job looking like orcs than the Kling orcs. Klingarks don't look anything like Klingons, but they're pretty decent for orcs. It's really funny how there's just a few little nods to Discovery that you can kind of see. Why else would they be attacked by orcs? I can't remember the name of these aliens but they are orcs. They're like straight up Dungeons and Dragons Warhammer orcs. They're kind of hilarious. So Captain Mercer and the Krill have to kind of escape in a little shuttlecraft, and they end up on a planet. And he has to take a communications thing up to the top of a rock. So very kind of Stargate-y sort of plot that you would see in something like that, or Star Trek, Voyager, any of those sort of series. It kind of turns into sort of an enemy mine thing where he has to trust the Krill lady, and he kind of has to call back on, well, God, did we have any real genuine moments when you're human? Did you mean any of that? Did you enjoy anything? Did you enjoy any of our movies, our date nights? I can't believe there wasn't any genuine anything, and there's a part where she can't go out in the sun because she's Krill. Another big FU to Discovery because, the Krill actually have a reason to have all of this stuff dark because of the way their sun worked, and so they can't do bright lights. Unlike Discovery, where they decided the people from the Mirror Universe had a smaller sun or something. I don't know. Something stupid that doesn't make sense scientifically for humans to look exactly like humans. Another alien race. Yeah, you could believe another alien race has different, environmental and solar evolutionary attributes, but whatever. So yeah, there's a part in there that kind of turns into like enemy mine where she has to trust him to go and carry up the communication array to go and hail his ship and not get killed by these space orcs. And it's one of those moments that Ed Mercer decides, I really have to convince her we I have to kind of give these examples of why, and how we need to trust each other, and we have to kind of start somewhere here. And so he even makes a deal with her. He's like, yeah, well, if you help me, I'm going to let you go. And he holds up the bargain despite like maybe not doing the best thing as far as what the admirals say. He could possibly be court-martialed, all these things. He decides to let her go because that's like the first step in diplomatic relations and the first step in kind of somebody growing up and saying, you know what, we're not going to fight today. This isn't the right thing to do. And he did that last time in the Krill episode too, where he made the moral choice to save the children. He didn't want to like kill the whole ship of people, but the whole ship of people were going to go and kill this entire colony of like 160,000 people or whatever. So he made the choice on the original episode to not kill everybody on the ship, just the adults, because they had children on there. He saved that school teacher and those children. And he kind of did the same thing this time where he let her go to try and, because he's thinking big picture. He's thinking like way down the road. So, man, I love that about this episode of I was going to call it Star Trek. It's Seth Trek. It really is. I love that about this episode of the Orville. I like to compare it to Discovery a lot because there's so many little nods, little, we can do it better than you can sort of moments. And I love that about this show. Yeah, final score about a 7 out of 10, like I said, because it did have those predictable moments. We did kind of know that this is a Krill, because we were spoiled by the actor. There's also a little side plot with Gordon. I mentioned this a little bit with some earlier Trek episodes. It's kind of a callback to the episode, and I totally forgot it again. You guys helped me out in chat during our live recap of the Orville. The episode where Deanna wants to go through command training. And so Gordon is kind of doing the similar thing. He wants to go through the command training program and take the test and everything. And there's even a moment where Kelly kind of says, here's the hint on how to pass this. And it was so reminiscent to Deanna in Next Generation. Except we didn't really get a resolution. We didn't really get is Gordon going to give up command training or not? So I don't know. But he did get a nice lesson in what command was. And that was how Ed Mercer handled this situation. So, yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought, it was really well done. It had a little too many sort of relationship-y soap opera sort of moments, but it kind of needed it. I think it needed it for some of this. I mean, they probably could have trimmed down a little, and it probably would have been still okay. I don't know, but we still needed to kind of know some of the Ed and Kelly dynamic, and you know, the whole, they were married, she's dating somebody else, he's now dating somebody else, and she's kind of, she knows because she knows him so well. There was some cute stuff like that. So what did you guys think of the episode? Did you like this episode? I enjoyed this episode. It was really, really good. I did watch Discovery live afterwards, so if you guys don't want to wait for my kind of more organized review of Discovery and want to watch my live reaction, that video should be up still, unless it gets copyright struck or whatever, or harassed, or it's already demonetized because CBS hates me and somebody flagged it. But if you guys do want to watch that, it will be up, I think. I will give you a full review of Discovery tomorrow. What did you guys think of the Orville? It was so good. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for 15,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for Anti-Trekker, to pushing me, for helping push me right over the edge. I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye!